Hi, Jeff. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Bill. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's always great to have you, and thank you for the work that you do for the nation of Israel. So, just explain to our viewers what Israel Prayer Watch Canada is and what is the Israel Prayer Watch Summit.
Well, Bill, back in December, we met as a team and decided that in 2023, we really wanted to shine the light on a problem that is plaguing our world, but also the country, the nation of Canada, and that is anti-Semitism. You know, the scourge of anti-Semitism is growing, and in Canada, we note that in 2021 to 2022, there was an increase of violent anti-Semitic incidents in our country by about 700%, which is a little bit alarming. And so we decided that we want to show our solidarity as Christian believers, followers of the Jewish Messiah. We want to show our solidarity with the Jewish people and stand with them. And so we've designed our solidarity pledge that we would love for people to get involved with, but also we wanted to make a tour across the country and host prayer meetings where we would pray for and bless Israel and join together in solidarity against anti-Semitism. And so we've been doing that. We actually have gone from Ontario all the way to Vancouver Island in the month of June. And now next week, we will be working our way east. And we have a number of dates to share today of prayer meetings that will be happening here in Ontario. And you can see them there on the screen. The Israel Prayer Watch Canada Tour is just that. And then the Israel Prayer Watch Summit will be happening Sunday, September the 24th at Portico Community Church in Mississauga, Ontario. And the summit is where we will culminate this tour that we've been doing across the country. And we want to invite everybody who is within driving distance, who has a heart and a love for Israel, and who wants to show their Jewish friends that they are with them, that they stand in solidarity with them. We would love for you to join us on that evening. It's the first evening of Yom Kippur, and we have special guests with us. Dr. Wayne Hilston will be there as our keynote speaker. Reverend Bill Prankard and others will be joining us. We have a worship team where we will be just enjoying wonderful worship in the presence of God and some times of directed prayer for the nation of Israel. Please come.
Yeah, well, thank you for that invitation. And it really is alarming because I think the common consensus, or most people would think, that anti-Semitism is actually declining, but you're saying the opposite is happening. So why do you think that's happening? And how can Christians maybe take a stand against this from happening?
Well, this is an age-old problem. And since the Holocaust, when Israel was allowed to become a nation, there was a moment or a series of years of history where anti-Semitism was definitely on the decline. But sadly, recently, it has been increasing, not just here in Canada, but around the world. And we've seen incidents like in Sweden, I believe, where they've been allowed to, burn the Bible in a public forum. And they've also done the same thing with the Quran, which is also hatred that we don't stand for. But why is it increasing? I believe that as we approach the end of this age, that we're going to see some of those prophecies being fulfilled, and that is what we are truly seeing now. We believe that God is going to call the Jewish people to recognize Yeshua as Messiah in the last days, but also there will be this increased persecution. And what I think is important to understand is where we see anti-Semitism increasing, the reason we should be alarmed is not only because that is happening, but because someone has said first they will come for the Jews, but they won't stop at the Jews, and we need to really understand this and pray that God will help us to stand in solidarity, to take a stand. Now you say, how can we be involved in that? Well, you can be involved in an event like this, first of all, involved in prayer for Israel, praying for the peace of Jerusalem, as you mentioned off the top of the show, but also wherever we see this raise its head, we can be vocal about the fact that this is not acceptable, that this is wrong, and come alongside people in those specific situations as well. Blessing Israel involves praying for Israel. It involves also getting involved in a tangible way. And of course, there are lots of ways that you can support ministries that help the land of Israel, that help the Jewish people. And ours is one of them, but we encourage you to engage with any of them that you're connected with. And that's another great way to show your solidarity with the Jewish people.
Yeah, it really is tragic, Jeff, isn't it? In a world that promotes on the facade, the surface, tolerance and acceptance, that the truth is we are a godless society. And you take God out of the equation, and there's always going to be hatred and destruction underneath it. I agree with you.
Yeah.
If someone wants to get involved, they can go to the prayer summit that you're hosting. Is there a website that they can get more information about if they're interested?
Yes, if you go to our website, firstcenturyfoundations.com/IPW Canada, you'll find all of the information about the prayer tour, as well as the summit on the 24th of September. And there is a space there where you can actually fill in your solidarity pledge online. Give us your name and your information so that we can count you among those who are signing up and saying, we stand with the Jewish people. And of course, before you give us that information, there's a form where you can open the Solidarity Pledge and read through it, make sure that you agree with what it is you're signing. But we would encourage you to go to the website, sign the pledge. And if you're within driving distance, register for the summit. It's a free registration, but we would love for you to fill out the information so that we would know how many might be coming. And we would just encourage you to do that as well. This will be available on live stream. So if you're in another part of the country and you want to participate in the summit on the 24th of September, then we will be publishing the live stream information about 7 days prior to the event.
Well, thank you, my friend, for bringing this to our attention, and thank you for taking action and letting us know how we can get involved. Really appreciate it. It's always great to talk to you, and I couldn't resist. Nice pipes.